On Tuesday, December 17th, Immigration Minister Mark Miller announced that express entry candidates will no longer receive extra points for having a job offer supported by a Labour Market Impact Assessment (LMIA). Previously, candidates with a valid job offer could receive an additional 50 or 200 points in the Comprehensive Ranking System (CRS). This extra points provide a significant advantage as a higher CRS score increase the likelihood of receiving an invitation to apply ITA for permanent residency through the Express Entry scheme. Based on various news sources, I understand these changes and want to confirm the details and discuss them further. To provide more background and insights, I am hosting this digital podcast with Shafoli from T.Immigration. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself to those who are new here. My name is Sarika and I have been living in the UK for the past 14 years. Currently, I work as a lead business analyst for one of the world's largest tour operators. In my spare time, I create YouTube videos to help you navigate the global job market and find the perfect study abroad destination. I offer two valuable services that I encourage you to take advantage of. The first is free study abroad assistance service. If you're interested in studying abroad in any of these listed countries, please fill out the form provided in the video description and pin comment. My team will reach out to you to assist you with your study abroad plans. And the second service is paid job assistance service. This is a 3-month coaching and mentoring program designed to make you job ready. It's perfect for those struggling to find a job or secure a visa sponsorship in the UK, Ireland, Germany, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. If you're serious about your career and want to land your dream job, enroll in this service. Remember, it requires a 3-month commitment and hard work where both you and I will be working together to make you job ready. I've also hired mentors who have successfully landed visa sponsorship jobs with the right strategy, and they're planning to help you guys as well. It's also for people who want to start their career in IT and also start their career as a business analyst, where I will be your mentor. If you need a help, fill out the form in the description and my pinned comment, or simply email me at yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. Let's make you job ready soon. So without any further delay, let's get started with today's video by inviting my guest Shafoli. Hi Shafoli, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy once again. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to my new audience, please?
Hi Sarika, thank you for having me again on your show. Many of your audience would probably already know me. The ones who don't, my name is Shafoli Kapoor and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. In simple words, I am licensed by the Canadian government to assist people who want to immigrate to Canada temporarily or for permanent residence. And yeah, that's my introduction. I'm based in Toronto, Ontario, and the name of my firm is T.Immigration.
So if you guys need any legal help, make sure you email me on yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com so that I can forward your queries to Shafoli. So Shafoli, today's topic is all about the recent changes which is happening in Canada. It's chaotic. So from your knowledge, because you're on the ground, what is the most important update or the changes which is coming now and which is going to impact my audience?
So you're absolutely right, Sarika, when you say that things are extremely chaotic. Things are all over the place. I think this is a very difficult time in Canadian immigration, as I can tell, at least in my experience in the last several years. I think this is the worst that we've seen so far. There are people who would say, including myself as a Canadian citizen, that the changes are required currently, whatever are coming. But then also, it is very unpredictable right now for a lot of international students, workers, temporary residents, if I put all of them under one umbrella. It's very unpredictable and very nerve-wracking for those individuals who are already inside Canada, or for those people who are planning to come to Canada or planning to apply for permanent residence. The biggest change that probably, of the multiple changes that have been happening, but I think the biggest change that will impact your audience and listeners is the removal of the additional points from job offer under Express Entry. So I'm not sure, just to give you a little bit of background, under Express Entry, if a person had an arranged employment, also known as an LMIA, applicants could get anywhere between 50 to 200 points, depending on the knock code of that job, 50 to 200 points, of course, 50 points being the most popular, to apply for permanent residence. So anybody who got 50 points, their score would, obviously be higher than a lot of other people who did not have those 50 points. And that would help them in getting the invitation to apply under express entry. So because of all the attempts of the Canadian government to curb fraud happening in Canada, they decided that they are going to remove those additional points from express entry. The only thing is that we don't know when it will happen. Right now, the only announcement we've heard so far is that they're going to remove the 50 points, the LMI, the arranged employment points. But when that is happening, is there a set date? Who will be impacted? People who already have the LMIs, the ones who will be applying for LMIs? We don't know yet. All we know is that there will be no additional points granted under express entry for LMIs.
Oh, okay. Shafali, thank you for explaining that. Just for my audience, if you don't mind, can we just take a small example and understand that in a little bit in detail? For example, before the new change, like you explained now, if anyone who got a job offer, they can score anywhere between 50 to 100 points, right?
200 points, like I said.
200.
So let me give you an example. As you can see on the screen, you will see that there are two individuals, Neha and Ravi, right? Neha had the job offer with the LMIA, and Ravi did not have job offer. Ravi's total CRS score was 490 points, whereas Neha's overall score before these changes was 530, which also included the 50 points with the LMIA. Now, if IRCC goes ahead and takes away those 50 points, Neha's score will drop to 480 because she now loses the 50 points for LMI. Whereas Ravi, who did not have the job offer points, score remains at 490. So now chances for Ravi to get an invitation to apply obviously increase are much more than Neha getting the invitation to apply. So that is what I've been telling people, Actually, I know a lot of people are worrying about the overall, about the LMI points going away. For someone like Neha, who has that additional points because of the LMI, obviously it's a situation where she is overwhelmed right now. She's scared, she's nervous now, she's not going to get the invitation. Whereas Ravi, now, because since he did not have the job offer, and the 490 points that he has was purely on his own merit, because of which he's now more likely to get the invitation. And that's exactly what the government is trying to do. They're trying to make the pool fair, and they're trying to make sure that people who've actually worked hard for those points, whether it's their experience, whether it's their language ability, whether it's their age, whether it's their education, those are the factors that make up the overall CRS score, right? So if an individual has been able to get to a certain point based on his or her merit, those are the people who should get an invitation, versus people who were relying too much on getting those additional points through LMIs. And hence the overall CRS cutoffs were also inflated because of that, because a lot of people were relying on LMIs to increase their scores. So in a way, it's going to be a fairer pool now after the removal of 50 points, and it's really going to be the survival of the fittest, and also the person who has really worked hard for it, who has the skill set.
Yeah. So, Shafali, can you just give a little background? Why do you think the Canadian government is making this change?
Primarily because of a lot of fraud that has been happening. I don't know how much you follow. I know you follow Canadian immigration, but if you follow it to the extent that you know that there's immense fraud going on with the LMS. Any LMI currently, not just currently, in the last couple years, has been selling for anywhere between 25 to 30,000 Canadian dollars. And the government is aware of it now, and they want to stop this abuse of the system. The LMI process was purely meant for employers who couldn't hire or find Canadian citizens or permanent residents to fill a certain job, and because of which employers would rely on temporary workers to fill those positions. But over the last couple years, this system has been abused, and employers have started relying on temporary foreign workers a lot more. As a result, they're taking away jobs from Canadians to fill certain jobs, right? So the Canadian government is now aware of it. They know that LMIs are being sold. They're not genuine jobs. Sometimes people get the LMI, they come to Canada, but they don't even work for those employers. They're basically, just running their payroll with that employer, but working elsewhere. So the government is now aware of it, and to curb that fraud and to curb that black market of sale of LMIs, they've introduced this that, okay, you're not going to get the 50 points. Now, why will people pay anyone for an LMI, right? They're not going to get any benefit of it.
So I think it's a good move, right? Because now more skilled people will get through it.
100%. It's a brilliant move. It's a very strong and a bold move. I think one of the boldest moves that the Canadian government have taken so far as I know. obviously they've been doing a lot of changes here and there, and they're changing things, but I think this one has been the boldest. And it's actually it got a lot of people off guard, nobody was expecting this to come. So you're absolutely right. I think Canada is all about, especially at this point in time where there are almost 3 million temporary residents living in Canada, not everybody is going to get the PR, and the sooner or later people realize that, it's better for them, because we are at a point where there will be almost 2 million people whose work permits will be expiring by next year, 2026. 1 million in 2025, and then another 800,000 in 2026. Of these 1.8 million people, only about, I would say, so the allocation limit for permanent residents is only about 800,000, 435 this in 2025, and a little less in 2026. So if only 800,000 people will become PR, the rest, 1.2 million, will not get their PR.
True.
They need to accept it, right? And the sooner they accept it, the better it is for them, because they still have time to work on themselves, to improve their skill set, to enhance their CRS scores in the Express Entry profile. Again, it will be the survival of the fittest.
I was about to ask, what are the things they can do to improve their scoring? So you said, skill set. So you mean someone who had already studied there, or you mean people can get more higher degree to get a better score?
Absolutely. So when I say skill set, see, first and foremost is some people can work in high demand occupations, right? There are trades occupations, healthcare occupations that are highly in demand. If people can work in those sectors, they will have a high chance of getting their permanent residence. Additional things that people can do is that they can probably improve their language proficiency. So in your Express Entry pool, you can get maximum scores for language, English, and French. So people can focus on improving their English language abilities, and then also on the side working on their French abilities. You can get up to additional 60 points if you go from a CLB 6 to a CLB 9. When I say CLB, that's Canadian Language Benchmark. So somebody who has a CLB 6 right now, if they go from CLB 6 to CLB 9, their score can jump up by 60 points.
Oh, right.
And then also if somebody works on their French and gets a CLB level 7, they can get additional 50 points for that language.
Okay.
In addition to that, people can, look at PNP options, provincial nominee options, especially that are targeted towards Express Entry. Every province in Canada has programs that are Express Entry specific. So if people start focusing on those programs, then they can get additional 600 points in their Express Entry programs.
Yeah.
Another big thing that I will recommend international students to do is to consider pursuing bachelor's or master's degrees in Canada. There's no point of pursuing diploma programs in Canada anymore, because especially after high school. So if somebody's coming after high school, my honest recommendation is that don't waste your money. It's not worth it. Either come to do a 3-year advanced diploma program in Canada after high school, or come to pursue a bachelor's degree, or do not come after your high school. Stay in India or wherever you're from. Complete a bachelor's back home. Get some work experience, and then come to Canada to either do a postgrad diploma at that point or a master's degree. That's going to get you additional points. So just because consultants are telling you, oh, you can go after high school, no. So anybody who is looking to come to Canada after high school, I'm telling you, PR is going to be very, very difficult for you. Either consider doing a 3-year advanced diploma, a degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree, and make sure you have some work experience from back home before you come to Canada, because foreign experience gets you additional points. Even if it is 1 year foreign experience, it gets you anywhere between 25 to 38 points, of course, depending on your profile. But that's a lot of points to in Express Entry. Plus, people who pursue bachelor's degree or 3-year advanced diplomas in Canada or a master's degree, they get 30 additional points for Canadian education versus somebody who does a 2-year program who only gets 15 additional points.
Thanks, Shafali. I think you have answered everything. You didn't leave any question for me. I wanted to ask that. Okay. So, Shafali, you mentioned that there are no dates announced by the government itself. So when should we connect next?
Well, I can't really say for sure, Sarika, because like you said, the minister has only, put this word out that the additional points for LMIs will be removed from Express Entry. But when they will be removed, who are the people who will be impacted? There's no such clarity on that yet. So we're still awaited further instructions and information on this update.
Okay. Shafali, I forgot to ask you one question. What happens to the application which is already in the pool now?
Well, they're still in the pool. And the interesting thing is that people still have the additional points. So I have a lot of clients who have LMIs and they have the 50 points added to their profiles right now. They still have those 50 points. They've not been removed. Again, I think we have to wait for further instructions and more information as it is rolled out by the government. I am suspecting, but this is pure speculation, Sarika, that most likely the points will be removed early in January, like early in the new year, because now it's the holiday season, everybody's off. So maybe we wouldn't see much changes right now. Again, I could be totally wrong. With this government, we cannot predict anything. They do everything like suddenly they just drop bombs on us. So it is quite possible it happens, but I think that it's probably going to happen in the new year. And and suddenly one day we'll see that there are no additional points in express entry for LMIs. But right now people have the additional points. So, but then we've not even had any draws recently. So obviously it doesn't really make any difference even if people have those additional points.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Shafali. So anyone who's watching this video, if you require any legal help, you know where to go, right? Just send me your email on yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com and I'll forward that to Shafali so that you can take all the legal help you need. Thank you very much, Shafali. Thank you for coming and discussing this topic in detail. And I'm sure we'll connect very soon again in Jan to discuss about the new dates or maybe any further updates from the Canadian government.
Absolutely. I'd love to be on your show again.
Thank you. Thank you, Shafali. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.